Ohio Valley and Syracuse and Buffalo, New York. So that's
pretty major. Yeah.
Very major. And so it's going to make people or sort of rewire us to become much, much more benevolent and sympathetic to other people. And you don't even have to be right underneath it. I was told you can be hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. I will mention that I wrote an article about this for the Sedona Journal of Emergence, and that will be in their March issue. That will be coming out somewhere around the 20th or so of February, if you want to read more about that. So, but a big benevolent event. It's interesting because it's going right through the heart of conservative United States. So we'll see how that changes attitudes and such. Okay.
Okay. Well, very good. Very good.
So another benevolent event that should have happened already. I'm still told it's going to happen soon. Is the release of the plans with no patent or free energy machine. And it will be a huge game changer for the whole world, because it will allow even villages in Africa that don't have any electricity whatsoever to suddenly have electricity, be able to run cell phones, and children to be able to talk online. So it'll really up the educational ability of people all over the world. And of course, suddenly you won't have to pay any electric bills.
Wow, that's pretty good. Is that a Tesla type thing, or because Tesla was talking about making energy free?
It's going to be some big organization that's going to do it. Keep in mind, there have been other free energy machines that have been invented, but they were bought up by oil companies and basically hidden. So this one will come with no patent, and anyone can build it in their garage if they want to.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Good. That's major. That's pretty major. Well, you know, I have your list here, and you've been talking a little bit about some more earthquakes and eruptions in the United States. And what can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Quickly. Now, this has remained the same probability for at least a year and a half. There's a 73% probability of Yellowstone erupting and a 63% of earthquakes all along the West Coast if that happens. And if it were to happen, it would mean a mini ice age all across the top of the United States, all the way to Chicago, because the snows would not melt during the summer. Now, Gaia, soul of the earth, has not been given permission to have those events yet. So if you happen to see a lot of people migrating away from the West Coast and Yellowstone area, and a lot of people migrating to that area, that tells you that the souls have given their permission, and the guardian angels are moving their people away or to experience the event.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good. Now, you also mentioned about weather. Do you think the weather is going to be unusual this year, or is it going to be just a normal patterns, or what?
It's going to be more normal, but with that, I mean, last summer we just had weeks of wilting heat, and this year there are going to be breaks of cold weather systems coming, but with that comes storms and more tornadoes this year.
Okay. You know, you're following some of the themes of some of the other psychics that we've had on our program the past month. And so it's very interesting that's the theme, the different themes that you're coming up with. So
I don't consider myself a psychic. I just go into meditation and ask the questions that people that read my newsletter all over the world send to me to ask in these sessions.
That's very good. Well, it's good that you're able to get into that meditative state and receive the information from beyond the physical. That's what we find, or I find so amazing about your work. But also, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the economy because you mentioned a few things there. You mentioned that you felt like there might be a major stock market crash this year. Is that one of the things that you feel is going to happen?
No, there will be no stock market crash. There'll be wide swings, of the stock market up and down during the year, but there will be no crash.
Okay, so lots of volatility, lots of ups and downs. So usually, when there's a lot of volatility, people can make a lot of money and lose a lot of money. So that's one of the things that we've been wondering about. So, but do you think the economy is going to be much better this year?
Oh, well, I think it will be. I really haven't asked enough questions on that to really nail that down, but it sounds like from what I understand that with these wide swings, right now there are only 7 technical stocks that are driving the whole market. So as long as they stay up, I guess the market will
continue to be up and down the way it is. Yeah. Well, very good. Well, another thing is I noticed that you had some information about China and Taiwan, and then you spoke a little bit about Australia, that part of the world. Let's start with that, if you don't mind. What do you believe is going to happen in that area of the world?
Well, I was told, and this was just before the earthquake in Japan. So Japan could be considered part of Asia, okay? And I was told that because that's such a massive continent, there would be some strong earthquakes during the year. And of course, right after that, I bet it was within a week or so, Japan had that strong 7.3 or whatever it was earthquake. So they're supposedly, because it is such a large continent, they will have more earthquakes.
Okay. And China and Taiwan, do you see conflict there, or is it going to be just a status quo?
More of a status quo. China does not want to have the United States suddenly get involved, and so there will be lots of saber rattling, but there will be no invasion, I'm told.
Okay, very good.
China's in for the long game. They think even if it takes another 5 years or 10 or whatever, they think eventually they will get back Taiwan. We'll see.
Okay, well, very good. And you mentioned something about Ukraine. Is that area of the world going to still be a stalemate, or will it be something that we'll have to be concerned about in the near future?
I'm told that the war in the Ukraine will be the last war in Europe. But when I ask about, well, what about the Middle East? I said, will that be the last war? Oh, no, Tom. That's not going to be the last one. So is the Middle East going to be expanding? I know yesterday we had news of an attack on an American base that took some American service people. Is this going to be escalating for us, or how do you feel that's going to turn out? Yeah, I think it's still, the United States is trying to tiptoe and do some surgical stuff, financial, maybe assassinate a couple of Iranian government people, but Iran, I just hate seeing them uh, uh, going in this direction, because the people of Iran are really nice people. All the way back in my college days, at one point I roomed with 3 guys from Iran. They're really nice guys, and I really, the Iranian people.
It's sad. Yeah, it really is. Well, now you mentioned something here about overlapping of timelines in 2024. What do you mean by that?
Sure. We're on timeline number 6, okay? There are 12 parallel Earths, and we're on timeline 6, the middle frequency. The upper timelines have easier lives, and the lower timelines have harder lives. So it all depends on the frequency. So we're in the middle, and every once in a while, these timelines cross over. So like we've crossed over before with timeline 5, we crossed over with timeline 7 and when this happens, there are things that go on that affect everyone at the same time, but then after the timelines diverge, then the different decisions are taken as to how to handle the events that happened.
So are there, like you said, there's 12 different Earths. Are there?
Yes.
You have doppelgangers, as they call us. We have identical souls or identical people in each of these different worlds.
Right. There's 12 of you. And
do I have more hair than any of them?
And with 12 Earths go along, we're in a special space-time continuum that was set up by creator of our universe to see if the 4 negative energies could be worked with. So the whole solar system is within the space-time continuum. And then when you leave our solar system and get out past the Oort belt, then that's when the 10 positive energies start coming back into play, because the rest of our universe and the trillions of other universes are all set up on 10 positive energies. No one's ever been able to work with these 4 negative ones. We're the first ones that have been able to do it.
Well, that's very good. That's good to know. Well, while we're in outer space, you mentioned something about ET documentaries. What is that? Can you explain that a little bit?
Okay. In my book, first contact conversations with an ET, I was about to send in my manuscript to my publisher in 2013. And I had been in contact, my guardian angel Theo had introduced me to an ET that turned out to be part of my soul group and had 800 lives on Earth. And this ET, it turned out his name was Antura, and he was a member of my soul group, and his sole interest is exploration. So at the present time, he is 50 miles above us in a giant spaceship, mothership that's 3 miles wide on the outside, 20 stories tall, but on the inside, because they're in the 10 positive energies, it's 15 miles wide. So Antura says it's roomy, and it has a crew of 900 plus their families totaling 1,600, because the crew lives on their whole lives. And so they're on their up 50 miles up, taking millions of readings every day, along with 24 or approximately other motherships. And so Antura kept hinting to me, and finally, just before I sent my manuscript in, he said, "Oh, Tom," because he's not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to ask specific questions. I can't ask him a general question, as you'll see in the book. He said, "Tom," he said, you and your family are going to come up to our mothership, and you're going to be here for 14 days, and you're going to be able to shoot documentaries on our ship, and you'll have the full range of the ship with the exception of the engine room." And so, and that goes back to my training. My sole contract in this life was to get into the film and TV program distribution business. And I've been an executive producer of some super low budget movies and TV shows. So I know how to shoot cheap. And so it's going to be a 4-camera shoot, and it'll be just my family and I.
Okay, well, very good. Well, you'll have to keep us informed about that. So,
yeah, I won't be able to tell anybody about it for 2 months after we get back, because it will, we're going to have to do what's called, in the film distribution business, it's called a pitch deck. Pitch deck. And we'll have to, my daughter, who has a degree in film from Loyola Marymount, and I will have to put together a pitch deck in one of my daughters. Pardon everybody. And anyway, we'll put that together in order to offer it to the big guys like the Netflix and the Paramount people and all those, the larger companies, because there'll be 2 feature-length films and 100 plus episodes.
Okay, well, very good. Well, we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there. But I wanted to kind of once again turn a little bit more domestic. We only have a couple more minutes really to where we can talk about the domestic situation. And I noticed that you had a little bit about Vivek Ramaswamy, and then you mentioned something about a health event for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about the election, if you have any insight or were given any insight about that, so that we can see if we can follow some of these ideas.
Okay, I have been told, originally I was told that Donald Trump would have some health issues. This was all back in 2023. But recently I was told that it would possibly be congestive heart failure, and he would have to withdraw from the race. And so I said, well, but Mr. Biden has said that if Mr. Trump was not in the race, that he might not run. And I was told that, well, but by the time this happens, it will be so late that Mr. Biden would not be able to withdraw from the race. So
okay. So you feel like Joe Biden will win the election?
Yes, but he will not finish his term.
Okay. Okay.
So those are.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned something about Vivek Ramaswamy. Is he going to be playing a larger role in the politics or what?
No, I'd ask about that before he withdrew. You know, obviously he was running for vice president, and I don't think he's even going to get that nomination from Mr. Trump. I think Mr. Trump is going elsewhere. But
going elsewhere. Okay. Well, okay. Very good. Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. So let's see what else. I know you said our vibrational level 7,000 years. I think you kind of covered that. A little bit about guns for groceries, a buyback national proposal. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned something about lawsuits being filed against corporations backing an enduring ET craft. So we can finish up with those
okay.
predictions if you don't mind.
Sure. First, on the suits against corporations, that's coming. I think Daniel Sheehan and a group of attorneys that are going to go pro bono are going to file suits against these large companies like Lockheed and all that have these black sites, back engineering, these downed ET craft, and those should be coming in the first quarter of this year. So we can look at that. I just saw an interview with Sheehan where he was claiming they had 40 whistleblowers that they're going to come out one after another, getting their experiences at these black sites. But there are also going to be these suits. So that's one thing that's coming along. Let's see. And you mentioned what else?
One of the other things about, let's see, we talked about guns for groceries.
Sure. I came up with that idea because there have been tons of events all over the United States where there are one-day events put on. Even like just in Texas, we've had gun buyback programs in Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Houston had 4 or 5 so far. So El Paso, and this is a conservative state. People feel they should have a way to get rid of these old guns and whatever, and especially in a household where they might accidentally, or some kid would pick up one and accidentally shoot another, or suicide or whatever. And so I came up with guns for groceries, where people would get gift cards that could only be used in grocery stores and would be administered by the ATF, who would destroy the guns. And so that's supposed to get going after the solar eclipse. We'll see.
Okay, all right. So we have less than about a little over a minute left. You mentioned something about what music will continue to last in the next 1,000 years.
It's only right. It's only going to be classical music, and so I hope Rhapsody in Blue is included because I really like that symphony. So it's only going to be classical music. All the popular music, if you notice, is starting to go into different languages, Spanish and Korean, and you name it. So that's going to happen in the upcoming years.
Well, let me stop you right there because we only have a few seconds left. But thank you very much, Tom, for being a part of our program. I do want to take a moment to thank my sponsor for the psychic side, which is Miracles of Joy. Go to their website, use the promo code 0223 on their website. But I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Join us next week here on the psychic side. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
accurate, clear answers to any question, you'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light trance medium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Suzanne Marie. Live from psychicpaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. I am Suzanne, and welcome to Psychic Paths. We are on A1R Psychic Radio tonight. I am so ready to do a reading tonight. I'm so sorry when I miss these shows. Sometimes I do, but I really love this being able to be on the show. Cambria?
Yes.
Hello. Did I just mess up your
Hello,
name?
how are you?
I'm
No,
good.
you pronounced it correctly.
Okay. I was like, oh, don't let me slaughter it. It looks so pretty. It sounds so
Thank
pretty.
you.
How are you tonight?
Thank you. I'm okay.
What can I help with tonight?
I kind of want to contact my great grandma. I have some questions.
Okay. Let me connect to your energy and then let me see who comes through, okay?
I know she comes through as a motherly figure.
What, did she live in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I said that is someone said that there was movement in the family. So I was trying to get her. Okay, so I think I'm connected to you. So a woman does come forward, and she seems very stern. There must be some tenderness, but she's kind of stern and very able. She just seems like a very able person. How can I put that? It's almost like she'll say, whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish. She seems to live that.
Yes.
And I feel like she was highly intelligent. Like she
Yes.
could catch on really fast, read between the lines. Almost psychic, I would say. So I think I have her. Did she have a sore arm? Because she's mentioning one of her arms are weak. Maybe you don't know.
I'm not sure. I know she has like arthritis, but I don't know about her arm.
Okay, so I think she's willing and ready to answer any questions you have.
my question is she seeing that I'm getting the help that I need right now?
She's either talking about a delay, there's a delay in it, or timing. Have you waited to get what you needed? Has there been bureaucracy? Because she's making me feel as if there's bureaucracy or some kind of waiting.
I did have to wait a while. I got them now, but I had to wait a while. I got the help that I need now.
Okay. Yes, she does. She is with you. She tells me you already know she's with you.
Yes, I do know she's with me.
Okay. Yes, she does. And from what she's saying, everything should go smoothly. Smoothly, but also that there's going to be some kind of recuperation or something to that effect, or a rest or a recovery. And she's letting me know that something big is about to happen. Maybe big to you or big to her. But she's saying something is coming in as somewhat of an event, is what she's telling me.
Oh, wow. Okay. I have another question for her. My great uncle passed back in April of last year. I was wondering if he was with her at all.
Yes, he is. She had mentioned him to begin with, but I knew you didn't want to talk about somebody else. I had a feeling you didn't want to talk about somebody else. Does
she happen to know? Sorry, go ahead.
I was seeing him, and he seems to have something that runs in the family. He's talking about it runs in the family. Something runs in the family. But no, go ahead, ask your question.
What happened that he passed away?
What I was told is that it's something that runs in the family. It's a familial situation, and I feel like I think he was haphazard in getting help. Like sometimes he'd get help, and then sometimes he wouldn't. I feel like it has something to do. I'm getting it. I just get it's hereditary. But it feels like he passed away. He wasn't on point with the doctors or the medicine or taking care of himself. Some part of him was negligent, I'm being told too by him, in taking care of himself. It didn't have to become worse, but something was wearing on him. Something physically was wearing on him, is what I'm picking up. And he does seem to me to be not a very, very consistent person with stuff. Just not very consistent with taking care of himself. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't think he went around telling people he had what was wrong. I think he tried to ignore it. And that's no way to be kind to yourself. But I feel like he had a lot more years to him. I think he was cut short. There's a feeling of not really finishing what he could have been or done, if you know what I mean.
Right. I know he did drugs when he was alive, so it makes sense that he was inconsistent.
Yeah, it just really feels like he was not someone to take it seriously, his health. And I think that's what got him. I feel like a wasting, what I feel. I don't know what it's called, but it feels like he just kind of wasted away. I don't know what else to describe it as. You know, letting himself go and letting things go. So, yeah. I hope that I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Is there anything else you would like to ask? I've got a few more minutes.
Where is he buried, or was he cremated? And if so, where?
I'm feeling he was cremated. Now, he didn't have a funeral. It doesn't seem like he had a funeral, but he was cremated. And I feel like everything you need is at the local coroner's office. But I feel like it was a very lonely affair. It feels like a lonely affair.
Yes,
but he is at peace.
He was alone.
He feels at peace.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, he is at peace. I think he felt like it was the end, and it was time to go home. And so he's good. He's fine. And so is your grandmother. She's a hoot. She's like really talking her mind right now. And with him.
Oh, goodness.
Too. She really likes to express herself. Not that she's mean, but it feels like she's very to the point, is what she's doing.
Yes, she was.
She's saying enough of this now. Okay. So yes, thank you so much for letting me share with you tonight. And I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you. Right. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you, everyone, for listening. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Medicine for Your Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good day, everyone. Happy No Fear New Year. 2024, we're in it. It started. The energy has greatly shifted. And I just want to take a moment, because I'm sure all the callers and all the beautiful presenters on this show will be doing their little rituals or their little actions to take for this year to set yourself up. So all I'd like to do is for you at some point each day, and we can do it together right now, is we just close our eyes and we breathe into our heart space. And breathe out. And breathe in. And in your heart is saying, I am ready to receive all that is for me in 2024, that is for my highest soul journey and my highest soul growth. And then exhale. Here I am, and I am ready. It's a really nice thing to do each day, especially in this month of January when we're trying to assimilate and integrate the energies that are available. As you've heard me saying, you've probably heard lots of people say, it's going to be quite a hectic year this year. It is a real fierce energy of getting us through. We have to really honour our soul's journey. We have to really listen within. Now, last year, 2023, was very much around connecting deeper to ourselves. This year, it's now living that connection. So there are 4 words that keep coming up for me, and I share it with people as guiding barriers, not barriers, but those when you go to a race course or you're in a swimming lane, you've got those markers. 4 words to keep us on track, and that is discipline. This year if we want to change things in our life, we need to have discipline. We need devotion to ourselves. When we do that, we are adding that beautiful energy into the collective. Focusing on who you are, where you're going, and how you want to best express yourself. And the last one is dedication. So devotion and dedication are a little bit similar, but devotion is more about the inner. Dedication is more about what you are focusing your time and energy on to change in your life or to create or have in your world, okay? So keep those as little guidelines. So I have a caller here, Debbie from Georgia. How are you, Debbie? Happy No Fear New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Has it been good for you so far?
It has.
Fabulous. So how can I help you or support you or give you guidance, or what is it you would like some support with today?
I didn't actually know who I was going to be asking a question of. So whatever you feel drawn to, whatever the message is, I'm willing to allow that which is best for my highest good to come through you.
Okay, so I've got my cards out. So we'll just give you a general reading. I don't know if you've seen me speak before, but I prefer not to do mediumship stuff. There are beautiful people out who specialise in that. I prefer not to. I'm more about growing our soul in this here and now and living in this moment moving forward. So I will do a little overview, little quick overview for you. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. So let's see where we're at. Debbie, let's do a January for the rest of this month, January. So setting yourself up for the year ahead. Let's see where she's at with the earth element here, Debbie. Let's see the water element, which is the healing and the release. The fire element, which is the action. And the air element, which is the spaciousness, what she's expanding towards or what's expanding towards her. Okay. This one here for you is core healing. So this is a beautiful one. This is like the core healing means you're actually getting ready for a new beginning. So you've gone through a lot of releasing or letting go or realizations. You are starting to put one foot in front of the other with more ease. So this is saying that new beginnings are about to start coming in. You may even feel that you want to do some new things. So this is the groundedness. So right now in life, you may be looking at, I need something new, I need something different, I want to try different things. So that could be the earthy energy for you where you're at right now. So that's a really good thing to look at and a really good thing to start including in your life. And I'll just share this little bit of info. Last year, 2023, as we know, the last few years have been very difficult. I decided at the start of 2023 I would do something new every single month that I'd never done before, and I did. I followed it through, and it really helped elevate me and bring me into a different level of awareness. So I would suggest that maybe a good thing for you this year is setting an intent that each month I do something I've never done before. Okay, so that's your earth energy. That's where you're at. Interesting, this is the water energy, which is the healing and the release, and it's the energy of rebirth. So straight away, new beginnings. You are starting to emerge. You're starting, if you look at the image, starting to unfurl yourself. So there's a lot of really good energy around. There's a lot of new things around here. So this rebirth is definitely the new aspects of you coming to the surface and a new understanding of you. I'm sorry to hear, that you've lost your husband and you're sort of going through that process. The rebirth here is that this is me now. What am I going to do? How do I live the rest of my life, whatever time I've got left, that honours myself, but also honours what I've had with this person? So this beautiful rebirth, really letting yourself come into your own. The fire, the action to take, this is so beautiful, is the energy of creation. Look at this. Creativity. What do you want to create? One of the simplest things, and I find it's the easiest for anyone to do, is simply to remember that everything we think, everything we say, everything we feel, and everything we do, it's up to us to take it to a level of how we want our life to be. And that's how we create new things, how we create a different pathway in life or a different experience in life. When our energy is elevated and we are using a different caliber of energy within ourselves, the creation energy, the inspiration comes in around us. So this is about you creating something new for yourself. Interesting, it's coming after rebirth and core healing. So you've been going through the healing, you're starting to discover yourself, and now you've got to start creating what you want for yourself and how you want that to look and feel. And the last one, the expansive one, this is so beautiful, is the energy of fertility. So this again is creative energy. The image on this, you can't maybe quite see it. It's, so I can get it, there it is, a very pregnant Kuan Yin, the goddess Kuan Yin. So whatever it is, what this means is whatever is brewing or whatever you're thinking about doing or creating or moving towards, treat it like you would if you were pregnant. Treat it like a gestation period. You've got to grow it. Whatever we do in our life, just because we put things in place doesn't mean the outcome is immediate. Often it means that we are in the process of growing it, attuning to it, learning how to shift ourselves into the energy of what it is that we want, how we want to live, what the next part of us is. So this to me is you're getting ready to give, inverted commas, give birth to something else in your world. This is a really lovely spread for you for, I'll just put them up again, for you for, where are we? Here. For this next couple of weeks in January, if you can see them. So really, really strong energy for you about creation, for starting something fresh, starting something new. It is the start of the year. How do you want to feel by the end of this year? A really good guideline for all of us is, how do I want to feel at the end of this year around finances, around my career or work or expression, my relationships, and my health? How do I want to feel about those four things? And when you actually work out how you want to feel about them, then you have your destination, your map right in front of you, because you just have to move towards it. So that's really lovely. I hope that's helpful for you, Debbie. I hope that's answered a few things for you.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Okay, good. So use the energy that's around it, this new world, this new vibration, this new frequency, and make it yours, and then start expressing yourself through it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Happy No Fear New Year.
You as well. Good luck.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that's a really lovely way to start this year, knowing that it is up to us. I mean, we always know that, but this year, especially being a 2024 year, which is a number 8, which is infinity, it's creation, it is expansiveness, it's elevation. We are going to be very, very, very different people by the end of this year if we can really own that. Own that it is up to us. Own that our soul is trying to express itself. Own the fact that our soul has to lead the way. If we've done the work last year to connect in, then all we have to do this year is surrender and trust it. Surrender into the wisdom of our soul and trust its guidance and take action. That's basically how we're going to move through this year. And I will say there is going to be a lot of ups and downs through this year. It's inevitable when a system or systems are breaking down for chaos to reign. But at the end of the day, the chaos is external. It's external. And if you're giving energy, worry, stress, concern, and conversations to something that you have no control over, then it's going to put you in that same energy. When we start to look at how we want to be, what we want to create, what the better world will be, how things can be better if we come together as community and we start the exercises of kindness and gentleness and support and cooperation and collaboration, we then move away from that low energy of stress and worry and fear, and we elevate into something different, which means we create a new world for ourselves. So I hope that makes sense to you. It is a really interesting time ahead. I'm going to be off to India next week. I'm going to be there for 5 weeks taking retreats and having a little bit of time out. I'm hoping to connect through here while I'm there. Depends on the internet. There it is, India. India is a bit random at times. But I would really love to share some of the journey with you all. So if I can't speak, I will send some videos if that's all right. So happy New Year 2024, everyone. Blessings. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. Come and see me. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for medicine for your spirit with
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Sessions with Spirit with Gene Rose. Live from Facebook.com/Tarot Readings by Gene Rose.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Sessions with Spirit
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Guys, good evening and welcome. My name is Jean Rose, and we are doing Sessions with Spirit. Of course, with me, I will be doing tarot readings this evening. We'll see if we end up doing mediumship. I never know where the night takes us, so we'll kind of see. Guys, who had a heck of a time this past week? I'm telling you, it was that full moon that we had on the 25th. It was in Leo, and I'm a Leo. That was one of those moons where it was just like, hold on to anything that is nailed down. That was just the energy. It was heightened emotions. It was like anything that could go wrong did. It was just one of those, like I said, you had to hold on. So I'm so glad that energy is just gone and it's dissipating, especially as we welcome a new month. That's really important. You know, new month, new goals. Remember that. Guys, we create 90% of our reality. And I know things happen in life that goes without saying. That's part of the 10% that we go through, because not everything we have control over. And that's something that we need to remember, especially when we're going through things, is that it's okay to not be okay. You see, even as a reader, I go through this. And that's something that I am constantly telling clients is self-care. And what is the one thing that I've been neglecting for myself? Because I wanted to come on air tonight and really own it. And I hope by owning it, it makes you guys say, oh, wow, you know what? I've been neglecting myself too. And it's just the small things. That's what's important. So instead of starting off with a reading this evening, we're still going to do our live callers, of course, but I figured I'd just spend the first couple of minutes talking to you guys, you know? That way you can see I'm human too. More often than not, readers are put on this pedestal. And guys, that's not something that you need to do. You don't need to look at us differently. You don't. We have problems just as you do. We go through things just like you guys do. And that is the same for everyone across the board. That is just life. That's being a human being, that's having the human experience, right? I think when we get so caught up, and especially in the spiritual world of shedding your ego and doing self-care and meditate, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and lost in things. So I wanted to take a moment and remind you guys that it's okay to take a time out for yourself. It's okay. Guys, it is a new weekend. My wife has off on Saturday. So I'm so excited. Tomorrow's actually going to be my Friday. Normally my work week ends on Saturday. So I get to celebrate with everyone else, right? So we are going to have so much fun, especially with the live. Guys, on Friday on my business page, Tarot Readings by Jean Rose, I go live. We have a great time. Oh my gosh, it's a ton of readings. Please join us. The page is Tarot Readings by Jean Rose, of course, right? But let's get to our first caller. Tanya from North Carolina, I believe. Love, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Oh, I love your accent. Oh my gosh, I'm from the North. So, I love that accent.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So what would you like read on tonight?
Just anything in general. If my life's going in the right direction.
In what direction? General,
If we're
okay.
going in the right direction, yeah.
Going in the right direction. Okay. Guys, I just went through this deck. These are not true reversals at all. I know some readers read reversals, some don't. I'm one of the readers that do, but I just went through this deck before the show, so I know they're not true reversals. First card is going to be the 8 of Cups. The way the card or the deck shuffled overall, I could definitely tell you that you're moving or are on the right path. It's more of a matter of letting go of things, specifically from the past. Your first card was the 8 of Cups. And remember that 8s refer to direction. The cup suit is going to be the emotion suit. So any of that like really hard gunk that we kind of carry around like a sack of potatoes, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, that guilt, that fear, that doubt, all of it, shame, all of it, you got to let it all go, which I know is way easier said than done. So be sure to do it in steps. Your next card was the 6 of Coins. Delegate things. Don't be afraid to say that you have too much on your plate. Don't feel like you got to do it all. You know, that card is a card about help coming in a time of need, but you're not going to receive that help if you don't ask. So you have to be able to open up your mouth and really vocally. Are you like not that normally that type of person? Why do I feel like you got to do everything? And it's not ego that you do this. It's more you don't want to burden anybody. Like you want to stay, I don't want to say stay in your own lane. You just kind of keep to yourself. You do everything and you do it very quietly too. You don't have to do that anymore. It's okay to even complain. You know, even simple little things like that. Don't feel as though you have to keep your mouth shut to keep people happy. That's something that just needs to be said. Your third card was the 2 of Swords. That is a card about overall indecisiveness. The sword suit, and a lot of readers are like, oh, it's ominous, and it's not ominous. It reminds us to be logical, especially in a state of conflict, whether it be outside conflict or internal conflict, either one, but also stay away from drama. The 2 refers to having to decide between 2 things, and I think that is the outside things like the drama, all that, and then your peace. And it's going to be you choosing you and you getting stronger in that decision and making that decision over and over. Don't always consider others when you're making decisions and choices for yourself, because that could be burdensome. And what I mean by that is you're taking on everyone's opinions on top of what you want in the situation, but you're not going after what you truly want because you're trying to appease everyone else. So you're constantly dipping your toes in the ocean and then jerking your foot back when everyone, like the universe is trying to push you in the direction of, no, it's time to take that leap into the ocean, you know, and that could be scary in itself. The card that fell after was the Knight of Cups. That's a card, and I don't want to say it's about chaos, but keep in mind, Knights are all about movement. You know, sometimes when those things are stirred up, that's actually a good thing because then we can purge those heavier emotions that we're holding on to. More often than not, we don't even realize something is a trigger or something is bothering us at our core. And then it has this ripple effect of when you throw a stone in a pond, it just kind of shimmies out. So before it starts affecting other areas of your life, I would start taking that bold step forward and knowing what path you want to be on. Ultimately, it's going to be the one where you choose yourself. You know, broad picture, yes, you are definitely moving in the right direction. I think you're getting stronger day by day. I think you're stepping in your power more by more and more. especially with your final card being justice. That's going to talk about the scales evening out. So that's like the perfect outcome. So wherever there is that imbalance, you're finally going to feel that relief, and like those things are finally falling into place. So that's amazing. And it's just a matter of getting through the thick of things where you got to let go of those experiences, especially the ones that taint your present and your future.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you hit everything just right on.
Oh, thank you, love. I just pulled an extra card for you, and it was temperance. Definitely exercise some patience. But again, that's kind of like the Hierophant card, except instead of faith, where it is with the Hierophant, temperance is all about patience, but it carries a promise. And that's if you exercise patience, whether it's with yourself, another person, or a situation, then harmony is going to be restored into the situation. I think especially while you're going through that 8 of Cups, that purging of letting those things go, because ultimately, what good is it serving you by holding on to? You're just torturing yourself. I don't saying that out of criticism. It's just you're keeping yourself held back, and you're shrinking yourself when it comes to your accomplishments, because again, you want to let others shine so badly. And that's a solid characteristic to have. I mean, that's solid character, because that's being selfless. You're putting others first, but there can become a time where that is too much. And even the universe will step in and sit you down and say, no, now it's going to be time for you. So before that happens, before you're sat down, start purging things and moving forward, and just knowing ultimately you're moving in the right direction. It's just a matter of you choosing you and becoming stronger in that way.
Okay.
All right, love. Oh, thank you so much for letting me read you.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome. Take care, love. You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, what a sweetheart. Oh my guys, I love Southern accents. I'm from New York. Yes, I live in Ohio now with my wife, but I'm from New York. So I love, oh my gosh, I love that. They just sound so sweet, right? They always say us New Yorkers are kind of a bit mean. That's our reputation. I promise we're not. We're really not. So should we do another caller? I think we should. Oh my goodness. Yes. Let's go with another caller. Okay. Guys, you know what? Let's do Vicky from Athens. Great. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Let's do Vicky from Athens. Great. She would like to know, will the financial obstacles I'm facing be lifted this upcoming week? Okay, I would definitely say that's a yes. First card was the Knight of Wands. That's going to talk about movement and progress towards opportunities. Definitely jump on those and embrace those as they come. Next card was the Nine of Wands. Overall, that's going to talk about positioning and planning. The Wand suit, you got 3 out of 5 cards from that suit. It's going to talk about like fortitude, strength, pushing forward, all of those. It's also going to talk about creativity. I think those obstacles, how you're going to overcome them is you're going to find, and I don't want to call it a loophole. Is that no, but just ways to tackle them, and it's going to be unexpected. The third card was the 7 of Wands. That's going to be a hard fought victory. And then the 4th card and even the 5th card were both 10s, falling from the Cup suit and then the Coin suit, which is also known as the Pentacle suit. 10s are going to refer to a sense of completion. So definitely those blessings coming forth and coming full circle for sure. Up next, guys, I jumped the gun earlier. I'm so sorry. Up next, we have Kelly, and Kelly lives in Florida. Kelly, what is the weather like there? Hello, honey. How are you?
Good. It's actually beautiful. It's been in the 60s and 70s, and actually it was 80 over the weekend.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh, that sounds so wonderful. I would love that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
in
nice.
Ohio and it is freezing here. Freezing.
Oh, nice. I have family in Ohio, Akron, Ohio.
Oh, really? I'm outside Columbus.
Okay. Yeah, my dad's from Akron, and my whole dad's side of the family is in Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. Yeah, it's so like nice out here. It's so different from New York. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah, I was just wanting to know, I have a cousin that recently passed, and I've been getting a lot of signs from the universe, and I just wanted to know, like, what they kind of mean.
Okay. And who did you say passed?
My cousin.
Your cousin?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay. Was their death like sudden or unexpected?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay. And then what is something of theirs that you have, love?
I have like pictures of us. I was actually just looking at pictures of us last night when we were little.
Okay. And do you talk to them like constantly? Because they keep saying, I hear you.
Yeah, I've started talking to her. I was actually talking to her like all last night and today, and yeah.
Yeah. Why do I feel like her death was like instantaneous?
Well, she found out she had cancer and she died 2 or 3 weeks later.
Oh my God. Oh, love, my condolences. Oh, honey. She says, though, with it going that way, there was no time for her to truly suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And I know that does not make it any easier. Mm-hmm. Kelly, my mom passed from cancer, so I understand. I get it. But she is very, very grateful for the fact that it was not a case to where it was like drawn out and just chemo after chemo. And she was very, very grateful. Like if it was going to happen, and she keeps snapping, which for me, my language of spirit refers to something that is instant. She was glad it happened that way.
Yeah, that makes sense because her mother died of breast cancer and she had it for a long time, for years, and she went through all these procedures and surgeries. And
yeah,
so that makes sense that she didn't want to go like her mom.
No, and they're together.
Yeah, I assumed that. I know she said, like, right before she died, she's like, I'm just so happy I get to see my mom again.
Her mom was who crossed her over, love.
Okay.
Like her mom, yes. She wasn't, and I say I understand there is tremendous weight in my words. So please know that I would never say anything just because it sounds good. I think that is so disrespectful to spirit, but also people, because readings are such a beautiful thing and they can bring such healing. I wish it was something as simple as like waving a wand and bringing her back. But at least this way you can have a little bit of closure that can even if it's a slice, a piece, because grief hits you kind of like waves in the ocean. And then what do they always say? Don't turn your back on it, right? Stand sideways. Stand sideways, that way you don't get knocked on your bum. That is the best way to handle it. Let yourself feel it and just go through it. Ride the waves. That's the number one. You know, she's at peace now, and I don't say that lightly. She shows me white roses. That's my symbol for a soul being at rest. You know, like I said, if it was going to happen anyway, with it being so fast, because Because then also look at it from the perspective of she didn't have a lot of time to think about things.
Right.
Do you see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that in itself was also a saving grace. Well, it wasn't for you guys because you have that shock for her.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
You know, and
Yeah, and
she's
it's
a
just been really
sweetheart.
hard on me because I
love.
didn't get to say goodbye to her.
Yeah. I really feel it was one of those situations that if you were there or if you were present, she wouldn't have been able to let go.
Okay.
And that's why you weren't in the picture. That's why. So take that guilt that you are like holding on to, because love, that is so heavy. You don't deserve to feel that. You don't deserve to carry that around with you. You don't. And she wouldn't want you to do that either. Were you guys like thick as thieves? Oh.
Yeah. We were only 2 months apart and we grew up together.
Yeah, like twins. Would you guys even dress alike or do like, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love. Oh my gosh. She's still there with you. She's just now there in a different way, which I know doesn't make things any easier. But now look at it as she's not going to miss any milestone in your life. Because I know that's something that you have kind of struggled with too. It's like, not that you've gotten angry with her, but you're sad that she's not going to be there for like upcoming milestones and like things down the road. And like, you're going to miss this. And like, you know, why did you have to leave? Because now you have to that. So if it escalates to that and you feel it, go through it, purge it. That is the best advice I can give you, truly, professionally and personally. Allow, even if it's anger, allow yourself to feel it. You know, be mad at her, be mad at the cancer, all of that.
Yeah. All right.
I also, Kelly, would recommend, and especially since you guys were like twins, get like a journal and write to her. Because that can be very healing for you.
Okay.
And it would also be like a beautiful keepsake because it's basically like the journey of your grief, but you're talking to her. So you're still, you know, venting about your day and tell her all the things, you know, what happened in your day, what you had for lunch, everything, you know, just as if you were speaking with her. And that can also be a useful tool. I know it sounds kind of like loopy, but I'm telling you, it does work. It does. So maybe give it a shot.
Well, I mean, I know she's still here because like I definitely got a sign from her last night. That was just amazing. So I know she's still here. And I don't know. I just keep on getting all these signs and stuff and I just can't interpret them, you know, like seeing my number all the time and like dragonflies and butterflies and like just, you know, just stuff that I know the universe is reaching out to me, but I just can't, I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying.
The butterflies and dragonflies are definitely from her because more often than not, spirit will use, and it's usually like, I don't want to say a same group of symbols, but it'll be like a red cardinal, it'll be a butterfly, dragonflies, but dragonflies do have an extra meaning. They also refer to transformation.
Okay.
She wants you, and especially since you guys were only 2 months apart, you need to do all the things in life that she isn't able to. So she's counting on you to get it done and to do it. You can't give in and stop living. You can't. No matter how tempting it is, or stay, and I see you more as like frozen in time. It's kind of like that initial shock of finding out about the cancer, and then it was like the blink of an eye, she was gone. And that can be a lot. That's traumatic for a person to go through. You know, that sudden loss. That's very traumatic. So give yourself grace with that too. Don't be so hard on yourself, Kelly. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, love.
I am.
Oh, no problem. I'm so glad she stepped forward and I was able to read for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Guys, I think tonight we're just going to finish out. I have an oracle deck out. Usually I am a tarot chick. Yes. But this deck, I don't know, it is the universe has your back. Like I said, I started this show talking about self-care and how important that is. And when we don't do it, there are repercussions, there are consequences. So it's really important to remember how crucial it is to not put your needs on the back burner. I'm pulling a card for everyone, and it is energy flows where my intention goes. I said it before, and I will say it again. We create 90% of our reality or our circumstances. We create it. Guys, there is such power in our thoughts and our words. It's not even funny. Why do you think prayer is a thing or petitions are a thing? It's power in words. Our words are very important. Either you're going to speak life over a situation or you're going to speak death over it. And that is seen over cultures and religions and just all different walks of life throughout history. That's just the basis of things. Whatever you put into something, you're going to get out. So definitely make sure that you're investing the best in you. I know sometimes it can be really difficult. I know it has been really hard for me to sort of stop and hit that pause button. I've kind of been like the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, I'm late. But it's like to just take that pause and be like, I'm going to breathe and I'm going to stop and I'm going to recognize. That's why I'm so excited for this weekend. Like I said, my wife has off Saturday. So tomorrow I'm going to be able to celebrate with most of you guys our little TGI Friday. I'm so excited. Guys, I can't even recall when the last Saturday I have had off was. Can't, right? That is usually the end of my work week. So yeah, I'm excited. Allie and I have some plans. We're going to be doing a few things and of course running some errands. So it'll be a fun weekend. But I wish you guys all a beautiful weekend too. I really do. Let's pull a card for the weekend, shall we? Right? Yeah, so this is just a reminder that first card, energy flows where my intention goes. The card for the weekend, and this is going to be for everybody, okay? My vibes speak louder than my words. Guys, remember your energy introduces you before you even open up your mouth. It's very important that we don't carry around those burdens, those fears, those doubts, that anger. Like really let that angst go, whether you want to call it transmuting it, purging, whatever, however you want to say it. Make sure you really rely on yourself and take care of you. That should be your number one priority. Okay? It really should. I'm going to leave you all with some homework this weekend, and that is going to be doing something special for yourself. You can take a hot bath. You can have a cup of coffee while it's still hot, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's something small or trivial, just do something for yourself. And I'm going to leave you guys with that because that's going to be important. And then next week, I want to hear what everyone did, right? And we're going to make it become a weekly thing. Guys, if you like my style of reading, I am available for personal appointments. Check me out at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. I'm available on Facebook. You can check me out there. It's my business page, of course. I like Facebook the best because people have 24/7 access to me. So, guys, check me out. Give me a follow. I will catch you next week at 8:30. I'm so excited. You guys all have a beautiful weekend. Be blessed. I love you all. And thanks for joining me tonight. Bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you live from the great city of New York, where even the cops get mugged. Did you see that? A group of police officers got beaten up by a group of gentlemen from across the border, shall we say. But this is New York, so they were back out on the streets within minutes. Hey, there you go. What a weird world it is. I mean, I didn't know until today, and I'm a New Yorker, that I hadn't noticed that cops don't carry nightsticks, and I don't know how long it's been since they haven't done that. Because I remember the sound of that thing, man. Oh, gosh, one of the scariest moments I ever had in New York. And I'm a native New Yorker, you know. My nose is still a bit runny, by the way. The gentleman was pulled off, was questioned by the police on the subway at the subway station up near 110th Street. And two young transit cops, they had the guy, his back was against the wall, and they were questioning him, and the guy made a sudden reach inside his jacket. You know, like the classic James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart, prepared to drill you move. And a young officer backhanded him across the forehead with the nightstick, which was a solid piece of wood. And that sound was horrific, like, you know, like that, but loud. And the poor guy, he just kind of did a little pirouette and spun around slowly, leaning against the wall, and his hand came out, and in his hand he had an ID card, which, you know, you don't make sudden moves like that, especially reaching for your inside pocket in the jacket. So anyway, that's my warm and fuzzy New York story for you about a guy getting his head broken. But, you know, it was the only other time I saw a cop using the nightstick was a subway transit cop again. This was even before they were part of the regular police department. That's how far back we're going here. And there was a young cop and an old cop, and the old cop was showing him the ropes. And this was about 3 a.m, and the train car was full, believe it or not, because in those days they cut back on the service. And so the trains came very rarely at night, but when they did, they were full. And there was a guy who was lying there asleep on one of the seats, on one of the benches, you know, in the car. And the older cop said, "And here's what you do with people like this." And he gave him a crack across the shin with the nightstick. And I thought that everybody in the car was going to just take those two guys apart. People were furious that happened. But, you know, they went over and took care of the guy, see how he was doing. It was just some guy who was, was asleep on the subway, which, you know, that happens at 3 a.m. People are coming back from a double shift or something. But the guy just said, "Here's what you do." Pow! You know, now the younger cop looked terrified. He thought he wanted to haul his butt out of there. But there's really no place you can go on a subway car except to another part of the subway car. So that's gee, I don't think I'm going to be hired by the Visitors Bureau to be bringing up tourist awareness. But it's a wonderful city when it works. It'll be a great town once they finish building it. That was something somebody said in the 1920s. And it's still going on. But here we are. We've come to the end of January, which shows that 2024, it didn't kill us all yet. So we're still here. I think it's going to be a very good year. That's what I get. Hey, look, see, I just shuffled the cards and pulled one out. I got the tower struck by lightning. It means that there's going to be sudden changes coming this year. And then there'll be Four of Swords, means there'll be periods of reflection. So that's good. There's going to be big changes coming suddenly. Now, that can be good or bad. There's no judgment there. It's just sudden upheaval of the way things were. And I don't know, you feel ready for an upheaval? I kind of think that a lot of people are ready for at least a sideways heaval. How's that? You never hear about a sideways heaval. It's always an upheaval. How about a little lateral move there? But there's changes coming as I'm shuffling the cards. Let's see, what else? What's new here? What can we get into? Well, we've survived the worst part of winter, I suppose, here in the Northeast. It's I don't like the winter. I'm never going to spend another winter in New York. It's something I think I've been telling myself since 1962. So we can pretty much write that off as a pipe dream. But where would I go, right? That's what would I do? I'm a New Yorker. I don't do much these days, but I like knowing that it's out there, right on the other side of my door. I lived the wild life of a nightclub entertainer, and let me tell you, that is something made for a young person, because it's very, very draining. And if there was a bottle around, I drained it in those days. So that's why I'm telling you. It was. I once stopped. I once cut out drinking for a few months. My wife poisoned me. Yeah, I suppose I can't just drop a comment like that. I have to explain it. That I was not feeling well. I was ill. There was some disease going around, as there usually is. And the doctor said something like I should take 2 Tylenol every 4 hours. And my wife thought it was 4 Tylenol every 2 hours. Well, of course, Tylenol can do things to your liver that is not good. And I was overdosed on Tylenol. It was quite accidental. I'm telling myself that for years. Quite accidental. And so I had to, because I had insulted my liver somewhat, I had to lay off the whiskey, which I really was more of a gin drinker. For me, it was martinis. Oh, man. And so I didn't have any alcohol for 6 months, and a gin bottling plant in New Jersey went out of business. I like to think that's a coincidence. But on the other hand, maybe I just haven't been doing my bit to spur the economy. It's just that I don't know. It's when you're not 23 anymore, it gets a little difficult. You know, these habits need changing. So I now live the quiet, sedate life of the wise, elderly, esoteric practitioner. It'll probably extend my days a bit too. I engage in biblical studies, things like that. I do a lot of reading, and usually, this is the thing about occult work. If you want to get into it, I can recommend some great books. You can look at my website, magic-works.com, magick-work. Do that again, magick-works.com. There's a bibliography there. There's a list of books that I believe are essential to occult studies. And it involves reading them over and over again, because generally, if you get one of the really better books on the occult sciences, your reaction upon reading it is, what was that? It makes no sense, you know, and then you got to read it again. And as the years go by and you start practicing and using and doing other things, you know, using systems for magical work, you find that they start making more and more sense, which can be a little scary because, you know, they say insanity, I hate this though, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, you just described every baseball player. on the planet. That's what they do. They do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. There's nothing insane about that. In fact, the alchemists did that too. The alchemists did it deliberately, hoping to get a different result that was anomalous, so that they could study that and find out why there was a different result. Because let's face it, you can make the same recipe over and over again, and now and then it'll fail. When you're cooking, you remember cooking. A lot of people used to do that. I knew that we were in trouble many years ago. It was in the 90s, which was oddly enough many years ago. And a guy was complaining to me that he was broke. He could barely afford to live. And he was making, at that time, in about like 1992, $60,000 a year. And I said, well, you're doing something wrong, man. I mean, how much do you spend at the grocery store? He says, I don't buy groceries. I eat all my meals out. 3 meals a day? Yeah. So, okay, well, there you go. That'll do it. Especially in a town like this where restaurants are always very expensive. So you have to read the same books over and over and maybe do the same. I hesitate to call them experiments, but they're not spells either. But you do them over and over again, and maybe you'll get a different result, and then you can advance the art. But, there are books like the 10-volume set of the Equinox, which is barely comprehensible. You're not going to get many esoteric practitioners to admit that. If you want to read a book that will make absolutely no sense to you, except for a few paragraphs, try reading Magic in Theory and Practice. But when you're done reading it, read it again, and you'll understand more than you did the first time, you see. So it's about real dedication. If anybody tells you that they can teach you the mystical arts in 20 minutes, forget it. You can remember certain spells and recite them. That's not the same. Then that's like a minor bird. A minor bird can recite the Hamlet soliloquy, but that doesn't mean it understands it. It may be minorly entertaining, but no, it's not the same as learning something. And to learn and comprehend, that can take a lifetime. So along with the fun of, say, like reading tarot cards at a gathering and a party, because it is amusing for a lot of people. And nothing dangerous happens, really. That's just movies. But the real nuts and bolts work. Now, I confess that I haven't been doing too much of that, and I suspect a lot of people haven't in the last 3 or so years, because the last 3 years and change have been, it's time to get pretty damn practical. When there's a disease sweeping the country and things are shut down and you need to survive and there's no work, and, do I have to recite the whole thing? No. There are times to get magical, and there are times not to. There's a famous story about a guy who goes to a church every day, and he prays to win the lottery, and he never wins the lottery. And he keeps praying to win the lottery, and he never wins the lottery. And he finally raises his fist in the church and screams, "What do I have to do to win the lottery?" And a voice booms out, "Try buying a ticket." You see, you got to get practical sometimes. And I have put a lot of the studies aside, and now I'm getting back to it. So I spend my time reading, and I'm happy to say that I'm not alone, because I see, judging by book sales from mojoacademy.org, that there are other people doing it too, because book sales are picking up again. And now I didn't expect people to be buying occult, esoteric, magical books during an economic crisis. When the house is on fire, you don't start reading books on the physics of water. You just use the water. So I'm glad to see that sales are picking up, not purely because the money is flowing in my direction, But, look, I charge a lot less than a lot of people would for a lot of these things, let's face it. I enjoy restoring old magical books and putting them out there for people to read. And I believe I charge a fair price. If you have a problem with the prices, let me know. We can always work something out. If there's something I have that you want and it's not within reach, let's say, there's no reason to let a little thing like money get in the way. Seriously. But the fact that they started looking again. See, I can look at the website stats and see that it's getting more traffic. And then people are buying. And that's good. Because to me, it says that people are settling back. And aside from the mundane aspects of life, they're looking now deeper. And I like that because that's where it's at, man. That is it. I mean, we were not just put here to go to work and pay bills. Let's face it. You want to know what we're here for? That'll cost you $20, pal. No, beware of people who have a price for everything. You know that. Why are we here? Well, if I got into that, I would be babbling and babbling and babbling. But I'm not going to be babbling and babbling and babbling. No, I'm going to be going into reading cards for you because that's why we're here. So let's see. My throat is still a little bit warped, I guess is the word, because I seem to be, if you want to talk about religion, I think I'm going to be attending the Church of the Perpetual Head Cold. Because that's where I've been. There are times when I haven't been able to do the show because of coughing and sneezing. So there you go, there you have it. But I'm certainly glad to be back now. Let's see, what can we do here? Let's go to the first call, okay? How's that? I told you the website. It's magic-works.com, magic-works.com. And you can check out the books at mojoacademy.org. And there's all kinds of stuff there that you can recklessly spend your money on and improve your life. But that's neither here nor there right now. We're here to take a look through the deck of tarot cards and see what's going on. So let me ring a bell 3 times to declare sacred space, meaning that no more selling, right? And we'll pull back the curtain on the magical window for Jean in Macon, Georgia. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, it's going well. How are you?
Doing pretty good, thank you.
Great. You got through January okay, right?
I did, yes.
Beautiful. What more could you ask for, right? What can I look at for you?
Exactly. Hopefully, like maybe into my love life, and then maybe just any message that Spirit would like for me to know.
Okay, let's see. I'll shuffle the cards up a bit, and we'll see if we get anything about romance, which is always a very popular topic. I can always tell when the economy is bad because I get very few questions about love. It's always about money. So things are looking up. See, that's good to know. Let's shuffle them up. And well, okay. These are happy cards and good cards. There's just one thing here. Well, let me just tell you, there's nothing terrible, but there's the Knight of Cups here, which tells me that there may be something new in terms of romance coming your way. If you're already involved with somebody, is there a new relationship you're in now?
Yes.
Okay, because that's the Knight of Cups. Knights are beginnings. And they can be very mercurial. They can go up and down and left and right and, all that. But it looks like it's something that's balancing out because the next is the Two of Coins, which doesn't literally refer to money in this particular reading because it's about getting something new going and started and working at it. The Ten of Cups is here. That's about happiness, perfected happiness. Cups are about romance and affairs of the heart. Now, I want to tell you what I saw that concerns me a little bit. But like I said, it's not terrible because you're going to, according to these cards, you can handle it all right. There's somebody who's not too thrilled about what's going on in your life. Do you have somebody who's gossiping about you, and you get the feeling that somebody's doing things behind your back?
I'm not sure.
Because according to this, there is somebody who is kind of like a troublemaker who's been spreading gossip about you, saying things that are not true. But according to this, it's not going to work. It's not going to last. So, just be aware that there may be somebody who doesn't have your best interest at heart, but it's like a flea, it's not going to bother you. Okay?
Okay.
The final outcome here is the sun, which is health and happiness and healing and growth. So I think you've got a pretty good shot at happiness and growth and all kinds of good stuff in this new relationship that just started. It's very good. And maybe, see, the thing about somebody talking behind your back, somebody it would appear to be a little jealous of you. That's all. Anytime we're doing well, we inspire that in some people. You know that. So don't worry about it because all the good cards are here. Especially the sun and the Six of Rods, which is about success and triumphing over people who are trying to hurt you. So you're going to come out okay. But it looks like this is a good relationship, and you're working at it. That's the important point. That's the Two of Coins. It's about getting something going and moving and nurturing it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I wonder if that person could be a family member. That's really the only people I talk to.
Well, it's possible. Families love that stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
But I want you to be aware of it only because when these things happen, people have a feeling that it's happening, and it's good to know that you're right. But this person isn't going to hurt you. It isn't going to hurt you at all. Okay? I'm looking at the person doing this. No, I have the Ten of Rods, which is a person who is like biting off more than they can chew, and the Hierophant here, which is about religious authorities. The person's going to get punished for doing this. So you'll be all right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Happy New Year, and good luck with the new relationship. Good luck with the new relationship. It looks good.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle up the cards. If I sound a little congested, it's because I'm waiting to sneeze. I have no idea. It could be the dry air. This time of year it's very dry, and we're very lucky in this building because the building is owned by people who really don't want to give us much heat. And one thing I can't stand, it's sweltering in the winter. So I'm really glad that we rent from misers here. But they do adhere to the law. The law is just miserly. And I guess I can't blame them with the price of fuel. Ooh, man. And it's going up. It started going up again. Well, these are the daily travails of life. We try not to let them get us down, and we try not to use magic to hurt people. I keep reminding myself that don't do that. That comes back to bite you. Angela in Baytown, Texas is next. Hi, Angela. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi. How's Texas? We hear in the news a lot these days in Texas.
Texas is, I don't know. Weather is horrible. It's cold and hot and cold and hot. Today we were so cold, and by noon we had gone up 30 degrees. So. Wow.
Yeah, you want one or the other. I know the feeling.
Yeah, in one day.
Yeah. Well, they said Washington, D.C. had snow, and then a couple of days later it was 80 degrees. So.
Yeah, that was us. Last 2 weeks ago, we had snow, and today was 78 degrees.
78. Oh, I love that. I mean, we haven't hit 40 degrees in a while, but that's New York. And New York City is brutal because it's a completely unnatural environment. There's nothing but buildings here in Manhattan, where this used to be rolling hills and forests and streams. And there are still some streams left in Manhattan, only they're underground and they leak from time to time, but they're still there.
Oh, wow.
But mostly, New York is a wind tunnel. We have a grid going north, south, east, west, and the wind just likes to whip through that. I don't know how the people in Chicago stand it, but hey, we all, the old joke, everyone talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it, right? Well,
Right.
what can I look at for you in the cards?
Well, I recently left a relationship behind. It was 5 years, dead end. I know it was a dead end. I've moved on, and I've moved on several times, but I knew I wasn't ready, and this time everything's different about it. I'm not upset, I'm not angry, I'm not sad, I'm just kind of done. And I'm just, wondering what's to come. I don't want to be single, but I don't want to be with someone who's not going to give me 100% and keeps making excuses. So I'm ready for a new start.
Well,
I've
got good news for you, because that's what's happening here. You said ready for a new start. The first card I have is the Ace of Cups. Aces are about new starts, and cups are about romance and the heart. So something good may be coming. Now, let me tell you what balances that card out. The King of Swords. Swords are about mental activity. Okay, you're taking control of your mind. You're changing the way you think. You're changing your attitude. Is that true? Do you feel it, that you're growing and changing as a person?
Yes.
Okay, because you're working at that, and that's happening. And that's the Sun. I had that card in the previous reading, and here it is right smack in the middle of yours. The Sun is about healing and health and growth. Now, this next card is exactly what you were talking about. It's the Nine of Coins, and it's very often misunderstood. It's about solitary enjoyment in life. It doesn't mean you're going to be alone. It just means that you're developing into a person who doesn't need other people all the time to be at peace and enjoy life. That you're learning how to be at one with yourself. Now, that is what's important, because if we can't do that, we're not going to really get along in any relationship, are we? It's not. It doesn't mean that everything has to be about me. But you have to know who you are and be secure. And you're growing that way, and you're coming to the point where you're going to be very comfortable if you are alone. But doesn't mean lonely, and it doesn't mean single in that sense. You see what I mean? That you don't need other people around you as much, but you will attract. A person like that will attract people. There was a great joke. The late comedian Mort Saul used to talk about his first marriage. He said that we stayed together for years because of the children, and he said we were the children. That was the joke. But see, you're not that. That's not you. You're not needy in that regard. You will have relationships with people, but it's not that you're so desperate because you're not comfortable unless somebody else is there, and that's balance. The next card is the Justice card, which tells me that you're going to get exactly what it is you deserve and want, because you're working at it, and it's just the Two of Rods is here, and that's about waiting to get results. So there'll be a little more time before you get exactly what you're looking for, but you're on the right path from these cards. The central card is, again, the Sun, which is healing and health and growth and happiness. And that is also tied to the Nine of Coins, which is about being able to be solitary without freaking out. So you'll get what you want, because that Ace of Cups is there. It's going to take a little bit longer because you're changing and growing. But you're not far. You're not far from what you want. Okay? That's the good thing. So if you feel like something is coming down the road, yes. Okay? Because you're near it.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? I mean, I don't mean that you don't understand, but I mean, because am I being clear about it? Because I'm a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a little gun shy about that card because a lot of people interpret that as bad news, but it's not that you're destined to be alone, that kind of thing. It's
Which one, the 9 of coins or the Ace of cups?
the 9.
Okay.
Yeah, because all that means is that you can be comfortable in your own skin. Okay. It's just that I'm also getting cards that say that what you're looking for is going to take a little more time. Here's the 4 of Swords. Now here's a good one, the 3 of Cups. That generally means when that shows up in a reading like this, it means that through people you're going to meet somebody.
Through people I know?
Yeah, through the people you know. Friends might try to set you up, which just seems to be like that's what friends just do, right? So, but we'll see because it's looking good. The 10 of Cups again. Here's the health. That was the Sun, the health and growth and happiness. But here's the 10 of Cups is perfected happiness and romance. So you are definitely on the right path. The key here is, though, that Sword card. You're changing, you're growing, your mind is changing. You're looking at the world very differently from, say, a few months ago, and you're changing. And one of the things that changes when we change is the people around us change. We find new people find us. So keep that in mind, okay? You're in a period of growth and change right now. Here you go. There's the 4 of Rods. That's about a happy home and joy. All the good signs are there, just a little bit down the road. Not a long way down the road, but just a little bit. Okay?
Okay. Do you see anything in regards to finances?
Yes. I was about to ask you one question. Have you been looking for new work or new kind of work?
I would like to. I haven't really been looking because I'm happy where I am and I feel like I'm compensated fairly. However, my drive is ridiculous and it's very taxing on me. I am looking at. I have started the process to purchase a home. And I'm very, very nervous.
Sure. Well, it's a big move. What I got here is the Ace of Rods, which is something new in terms of work, something coming up in terms of career. So that's why I asked you about that. The 8 of Cups is about a person who's walking away from something that isn't working in life and going to something better, and which you're doing, and the World. Now, that's a good card, the card of assured success, the World. Now, here's another one, the 6 of Swords. That's also about getting from where you are to where you want to be through your own efforts. So between the 6 of Swords and the 8 of Cups, it's telling me that you know where you're going and you're going to go there and you're going to get there. And that's pretty good. And the World shows me that you will succeed. So, yeah, it's nervous time when we make big moves like this. But this looks like it's going to be a good one for you. There's just keep an eye out for new job opportunities. That's the Ace of Rods, okay?
Nice.
Let me know how it goes. I can be reached. This goes for everybody listening too, by the way. If you want to do any follow-up, just let me know. I'm at asktarot@earthlink.net. Or I can be reached through the Ask One Radio Network, or I can be reached through magic-works.com, MAGICK-works. There's all millions of ways to reach me. But it looks to me like you're in for a very good time. Okay?
Nice. Do you see maybe home ownership? Do you see that coming up at all?
Well, that was the happy home I saw, that card, the 4 of Rods, which is about a happy home. So okay. I'm going to infer the question was answered before you asked it even. Well, that's what that was there for. Okay?
Okay.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up again. Remember, you're listening to Reverend Elliott's Magical Window, which is the tarot. I call it the magical window because it lets us pry into the future, into the past even. I have done not many of these, but I've done readings where I look in somebody's past, way past. I mean, way into the past, before they were born this time. Now, I'm not too keen on reincarnation, but I have a strong feeling that it does happen because of certain things that have happened in my life. I believe if I have to come back, I'd like to come back a number of years ago. Maybe I'll buy some Apple stock, right? Who knows? I mean, that's one of the paradoxes is that we've very likely been through all this before with each other, and we just don't know it. It's like going to school and upon graduation getting hit on the head and having amnesia. I suppose it would be nice to learn more about it, but there are meditations you can do, Akashic record meditations. You drop me a line, I can show you how to do some of that. I'm at asktarot@earthlink.net, AskTarot@earthlink.net, and I'll be happy to point you in the right direction. I got 106 pages at my website. Maybe I should add one about that. I don't know. Sherry in New Haven, Connecticut is next. Hi, Sherry. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Oh, hi, Reverend Elliot. I'm going to summarize things up really quickly for you, but, there'll be enough information in the question.
No hurry.
I took a break from dating for 8 years. I did a lot of work on myself, I've been trusting in the Lord all my life as a little girl. I mean, he's come to me in dreams, so I've always believed in God. But I had a rough time in the past with a few relationships, and I decided to take an 8-year break. Now, just recently, there's been a man that has been coming into my store where I work, and it's funny because another psychic told me that there was somebody who watches me when I don't know it, and he kind of made himself available to me April of last year to let me know that he was interested. So we've been just talking for almost a year. Just talking. We've been walking the beach and stuff and things like that. And what's happened is I've let him into my home, we just to watch TV. I've, cooked for him. We've talked. So I was comfortable enough around him 2 Mondays ago to leave him alone in my living room because I wanted to take a quick shower and I didn't know that he was in my parking lot. So, he was out watching TV, but when I came out and we spent a little time together, he left. And after he left, I started cleaning up and I wanted to put my diamond ring back on, which I had on my dresser, and the ring was gone. I'm sorry?
Nothing. Ouch, actually, that hurts.
Yeah, and you know what's really ouch about it is that I had a big emotional connection to it. It took me 3 years to get it. I prayed on it. I had to wait. It was an $8,000 retail ring. It was beautiful, and it was a big square that had all diamonds in it. And I wanted that ring so bad. I prayed on that for like 3 years. And finally, it came down to $2,000, and they allowed me to use 3 coupons. So I was out the door at $1,200 with it. So I'm very, very attached to that ring. Some people think I might be too materialistic, but I went through hell to get that ring. Excuse my English. I went through heck to get it, because they took it back from me, saying that there was a coupon I wasn't supposed to have, and I cried myself to sleep that night. And then a couple months later, the coupon came up. They said, go get it with the 3, and I did. So that ring is always on me. It's very seldom that I take it off, and I happened to take it off that day because I was doing a lot of cleaning and stuff. He's swearing that he didn't take the ring on the way out. I did call the police, and I had a police report made, and they called him, and he said he didn't touch it. So I don't know what to do. It's like I don't want to bother with him anymore because I can't have somebody around me that I can't trust. I've torn my place upside down looking for this ring, and it's nowhere to be found. I mean, I looked in every nook and cranny, every place that I wouldn't put it, I looked. Every place I would put it, I looked, and it's not here. And he was the only person in my place, because I don't let anybody over here. He was the first male that ever come into my house in 8 years. So, I'm just torn up. I'm hurt because of the ring, and I'm also hurt because now the build-up of whatever we put into each other over the past almost year is gone also. So he walked out with my ring, my Christmas gift that I had saved for him, and my love, So I'm kind of like all over the place. My heart is shattered, you know, and
Oh, yeah.
I just want to know if you think that I'm on the right track with my thoughts as to him taking it.
Well, let me put it this way. The card I got while you were telling me this is the Justice card, which tells me that I'm looking at this situation, that justice will be done. So that's good to know. We'll see how that works out, obviously. Sorry, my throat is, the air is so dry here, it's getting to me. The Temperance card is next, which is a card about balance being restored. Right now, your balance is not, you've been thrown out of balance. Now, this is the card that's after this, the Seven of Swords. That's about somebody who is sneaking around and doing something bad. And you see, so the signs are not good here in terms of this person. Let's put it that way. But justice will prevail according to these cards. Your future in terms of personal happiness and romance is good. Okay, because I've got the 10 of Cups here and I've got the 4 of Rods. So that's telling me that you're going to get things restored. You know, the whole thing is going to be restored in your life. The World card is here. This the assured success. The problem with life is that in order to fully enjoy it, we have to open ourselves up to other people. And that makes us vulnerable at times. And you just got hit with one of those times, you know. I mean, you're pretty sure about this from what you're saying, that you know that it's not the kind of thing that.
Yes.
I mean, you're really sure. Let me put it that way. You're very sure about this.
I'll put it this way. I'm 100% sure. And the reason why I say that is because I watched that ring like if it was my little child. I don't have the money to buy something that expensive. So if it's out of my sight, I didn't say anything right away. I waited till I tore my place apart. And I knew that it wasn't here. And then I said something, you know. And he wanted to swear on a Bible. I said, no, I don't want you to do that. Because there's people going to their death that swear on a Bible that they didn't kill the person, and they go to the chair with the lie. So that's not going to help me. What's going to help me is you returning the ring.
You don't. What's the word I'm looking for? You're not light. You don't just toss this thing on the floor somewhere. You know, you don't just walk in the house and toss the ring aside. You have a set routine for everything you do, and I'm sure when you take it off, you have it in the same place each time. So you know.
Yes.
The fact that you looked for it.
And if it's in a different place, excuse me. Yep, if it's in a different place, it doesn't take me 2 weeks to find it. It's going on 2 weeks that I've been looking for it. And I keep repeating the same patterns of looking, and it's driving me crazy. And my sister thinks I'm ridiculous. You, Sherry, why are you so attached to that ring? But she doesn't understand that somebody violated my privacy, my space. And that was mine. That wasn't his to take.
That was exactly the word that came to my mind, was violation. That you've been violated. This is not. It's it's, as people say, it's really not about the item. Well, it really isn't about the item. It's about the person. It's about the feelings. It's about all of that. But I see that you're going to come through this and you'll be okay. The Justice card is what's important here. So, let's hope that this will be revealed to you, because right now what you're in the period where balance has been thrown out of your life by Seven of Swords, by a person who did something wrong and hurt you. But all the cards after this down the road are really good. It's just getting there that's the problem. And not a problem is an overused word. Let's just say it's difficult, because you can't ignore it. It's not one of those things, after all that you invested emotionally and personally, which goes way beyond the $1,200. And the ring was a symbol.
Oh, yeah, because it was him, too. I was invested in him. But, of course, I'd want my ring over him. I mean, because if this is the type of person he is, I deserve, my worth is more, I'm worth more than that. I'm used to men buying me jewelry, not stealing it,
Well, I think
what
you're
I want
going
to
to be
ask
okay.
Okay. What I wanted to ask you is the justice card. Do you think that there's a possibility, or do you think that it's just wishful thinking that because I think he was very attached to me, because when he was leaving, when I accused him and stuff, he said, look, I didn't want things to end this way. I didn't, I said, well, I didn't either, but that was in your hands. Do you think that he could possibly come forth and admit that he took it, or at least tell me where he pawned it?
Well, I'm not getting any positive cards in that direction, although the Hierophant is here, which is a card of religious authority, which means he might just have a conscience working on him at this point. I mean, I don't see you ever being comfortable with the person again anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But because I got, again, that card, the Five of Swords, which I'm sure represents him in this whole thing. With time, anything, of course, is possible. I'm sure that the police are checking pawn shops, things like that. So there's reason to hope, but I'm seeing more of a religious aspect to him. And so maybe there will be some kind of a, I hate to use the word conversion, but yeah, he might start.
Well, that would be good for him, because maybe he'll be good around other people. But like you said, I couldn't trust him again in my life.
Yeah, here's the Justice card again. I've got the Five of Swords, which is a person who's sneaky. That's similar to the Seven of Swords. This is a person doing bad things behind your back. Fives are very severe in tarot. Followed by the Hierophant, which is the High Priest, followed by Justice. So there's a pretty good chance that that his own mind and his own conscience is working on him.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to do that to, because I'm a very giving person. I give to people that, not that I have a lot, but I give whatever I have. And, if somebody's asking for food outside, I'll go buy them something. And, I'm very gracious that way. I mean, I was like, you don't hurt people like me. You know what I mean? You just don't do it.
I know.
Because God protects us, too.
The people like that are like you're describing, they can close the door on you. You could if you mistreat them, the door gets closed and it stays closed. And are you like that? Because like I'm the type that I'm as loving and as sweet as cake all day, but once I feel a betrayal, that's a done deal. That would be done. I mean, I would love it if he, told me where it was or gave it back to me, but I don't know if I'd ever be able to trust him again. He'd have to prove himself to me, Well, why don't you do this? Check back with me in a couple of months, and let's see what happens if anything shows up in the cards then, okay?
Sure. So are we basically done, or do you have any time for us to quit something very quick?
I really need to get to one more call before I go off.
Okay, no problem then. So the Justice card is what's standing out the most.
And the Hierophant, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's good.
Okay. So I will get back to you, and I'll find you on the web.
Great. Thanks for calling, and hang in there, because the cards show that you will get that balance back into your life. It feels really bad without it, but you'll get it. You'll get it back. And let's just shuffle up the cards, and we'll go to Arshea in Chicago.
Yes,
Hi, you're on with Reverend
right.
Elliott.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you tonight? I didn't mangle your name, did I?
No, it's a bit of a tongue twister, but you got it right.
Good. What can I look at for you? I've got a few minutes left.
Okay. So I'm just going through a rough time overall, and there's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty around an upcoming relocation.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see anything in that direction? I am currently in Chicago, and I'm hoping to relocate to Boone. Is that happening?
First of all, I've got a card that means exactly that. Literally and sometimes metaphorically, but it's about moving. It's the Six of Swords. I had that earlier for someone too. It's about getting from where you are to where you want to be. It's a mental thing about growth and becoming, but it also literally means making a move. But the important thing is it's moving from rough waters to calm waters. So the move will be good for you. The Empress is here. That tells me that you're the kind of person who makes things grow and makes things happen. So you'll be good there. I see. The interesting thing is, I see money in your future here, and money and happiness. I see now. I know they say money doesn't buy happiness, but it can rent a good share of happiness, can't it? I've got 3 cards here, all about money, and then the Ten of Cups, which is happiness. So, are you relocating for better work, better job?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, I hope Six of Swords doesn't mean going all the way back to India. That's where I'm from.
No.
I hope it doesn't mean.
No. It means from where it means you're going to go to where you want to be.
Okay, because Six of Swords is usually over water, right?
Well, it's metaphorically on water, just to show that it's like going from a rough sea to a calm sea. That's what's more important. I don't take that so literally in that sense, because it shows someone in a boat. But in some decks,
how do we get clarity that are we going to Boone and not back to India? How do we get clarity on that?
How do you guarantee that you won't go back to India?
No, clarity. How do I get clarity that the move will be to Boone and not back to India?
Because this is about the Six of Swords is about your mind. It's about you. That's why some decks call that science. It's where you want to go. It's not going to be kicking you anywhere. If you want to go somewhere, that's where you're going to go. That's a card about somebody getting where she wants to go. So if you want to go to India, you'll go to India. If you don't, you won't.
Right.
You want to go to this other.
Okay, so it's taking me where I want to go.
Yes, and it's not about being subject to it's not like it's a sailboat depending on the wind, because very deliberately that boat is being propelled by a person with a stick, and it's being pushed to where she wants it to go. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with throwing your oars overboard and seeing where life takes you, but you've got to be prepared to go wherever it happens. But you don't want to do that, and I don't blame you. Let me tell you this.
And how does
another card
the rest of the year? Yeah, tell me.
There's another card here, which is the Ten of Swords, which it means that the worst is over. That you've been through some rough times. The worst is over. It's one of those cards that people think means death. It doesn't. It means that the life threw its worst at you, and you're still here. You're gonna get up, and you're gonna be fine. So I think that you're making
going through the worst time of my life right now.
Well, hallelujah. That's because that means it's going to end. Because not the life, the bad times. The Ten of Swords means that life threw its worst at you, and you're still here, and you can shake your fist at life because you say you're going to win, according to this. Because this is all these cards afterwards are very happy. You made up your mind to move for a specific reason, and it looks like you're going to get that specific reason. That you know what you're doing, and it's going to work. I've got to run. I've only got about 30 seconds left. But I've got a very positive outcome here for you, okay?
Look, how does the rest of this year look?
The rest what?
How does the rest of this year look?
Oh, very good. The Ten of Cups is like perfected happiness. I've got to run. I'm running out of time. So the rest of this year looks great for you. And that's it, folks. We've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Elliott's Magical Window, which we're going to cut really close this time. So I won't give you any pithy, witty saying at the end, only that I sure look forward to seeing you next week. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. If you ever see us coming on laughing, we've got a lovely producer with a wonderful sense of humour. And so sometimes we don't have time to stop laughing before we get on. However, hope you've all had a good week. I'm your host, Mary. We're going to do a 3-card pull. I've already done the cards just for time factor. So I've got 3 cards, and I just take a moment to tune in to whether you gravitate to the first, second, or third card. The first card is this one. Clearly you can see that, but it's about kinship. All right, this is about finding your soul tribe, finding the people that make you happy, that you connect with. So if you're feeling like, you're not really understood at the moment, or you're not happy, just, find the people and just gravitate and spend time with the people who care about you, inspire you, and get you. I also got with this, if you've had a falling out with somebody or a group of people that in the past you got along really well with, it's time now to make a reconnection, to reach out to them. Now, I should warn you that when Spirit are giving that advice, it's not always because everything's going to be amazing now. Sometimes if it's something that you keep thinking about, you need to have some closure. So, but I see that, if you've been held back and you have not felt like you could move forward, any kind of movement and progress is good for you, good for your soul. So in any which way that it ends up, it's okay, but it is time to make that connection if that is a situation that has been going on with you. Otherwise, if it hasn't, just reconnect or just find people that make you happy and spend time with them. That's what Spirit want you to know. All right, the next card that came up was this one. It's come up as ancestors. Of course, that's our loved ones in spirit. And the message that I got for this card is that you have a lot of loved ones around you that are willing to assist you. So whether you're wanting to focus on your family or in a creative project or work or whatever, we always have family members, whether we knew them or not. All right, makes no difference, that have had skill set that, we require at any given time. So you can ask for them to help you and just allow them to guide you. And I just keep getting for this card, look for the signs. So, if you're, looking, you've got bookwork to do, for example, and you're thinking about it's all too hard, maybe you've had somebody who's really good with maths and numbers, in your family in the past, and you can ask them to assist you moving forward. You might find that people come to you that know a good accountant or a bookkeeper or whatever, all right? But, just don't, whatever you're doing, don't lose. So you'll get what you want, just don't lose sight of everything else around you, all right? Don't just stay focused on one thing, Okay. The next card that I got, the third card, if you've gravitated to this card, if you've been thinking about taking up some kind of creative project, you know, cooking, music, you know, playing an instrument, whatever, you know, that looks like, you know, do it. Don't be nervous about it. Spirit is saying you can get somebody who's like-minded, who, you know, a friend, a family member, maybe your partner, who may be interested in having a go as well, just to get you going. Because if you're in a different group where you don't know anyone, just don't be nervous or scared about it. You know, if it makes you happy, just go for it. I'm just being told now's the time. If you want to develop a new skill set, now is the time to do that. Okay. So I hope that resonates with all of you. I think I've got rid of some of my cards here. I think I've got Stephanie on the phone. Stephanie, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help you today, Stephanie?
I was just calling in. I was actually speaking with my friend about some stuff that she had never told me before, and then I got a message from the radio, you know, to get a call, and I just thought it was just meant to be. So I requested a call, and I'm on the phone. So I'm kind of here to just see whoever comes in and what message there is. I feel like there's something trying to come in.
Yeah. Okay. So you're after a mediumship reading?
Sure. Yes, that's what I'm used to. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. Look, I do have a couple in spirit that have actually been with me. So I'm going to see if they are for you. This is an elderly couple. It could have been grandparents or great-grandparents. Now, whether you knew them or not makes no difference, all right, because they will still be connected to you. This couple struggled financially. Maybe under a recession, lost money. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like they're coming in to give you messages as well about your finances. Can you relate to that?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. I'm also getting, even though they struggled, they were very good as a couple. They were very loving to the point where I felt like, you know, deep down they would have been happy even if they passed away together.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. All right. I feel like they love their family a lot, and they would give for their children, like, you know, whether it was food, they give food to their children first before they had anything. Does
absolutely,
that make sense?
Yes. Sorry, my throat hurts. I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely.
No, that's okay. All right, good. All right. I'm glad you can resonate with all of that. Now I'm going to see what their message is and how they've coming in to assist you. Okay.
Okay.
Are you looking to go into a different job or a new career of some type?
A different what? I'm sorry, or a new career?
A new job or a new career?
I'm like in limbo with that. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, because they're showing me that you do have choices, but I just see like you're looking around and you don't see anything. Like you're not seeing your choices, okay? They want you, the reason they're stepping forward is they want to avoid you having the kind of financial problems that they had, all right?
Gotcha.
They're saying just go with your passion, right? They're saying write 3 things down that you love to do, and then find jobs that are associated with that, to the level of, I feel like there could be some study around this, and it's to the level that you want to study. So nobody's saying go and get like a degree or something to be a doctor or something, but you may have an interest in working and assisting in a medical clinic, for example. So whatever it is that you gravitate to, go with that. I do feel that you love to fuss over people and help people, and I just heard the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So I feel like, I would say that many people in your family are like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just see you, have you ever thought about doing nursing?
Nursing?
Yeah.
I love old people.
Yeah.
My grandparents raised, and they both passed, so that's them. And I'm very passionate. Anytime I see an elderly person, I'm always just, with their gross, anything out and about. It's just saddening. So I struggle with that.
Yeah. I come from a Greek background as well, Stephanie. So I definitely understand the culture. Anything that is helping, because I just keep being shown elderly people with you, right? And you just pushing them along in a wheelchair, so if you've thought about that, look and see what kind of career, if it's working with in aged care. So just see what the level of study is, or what your qualifications are that you need to do that. I'm also being shown, now I don't know if this is something you enjoy for yourself, but do you like getting your feet rubbed or massages, stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think this is for you, because they've just said to me, put your feet up and get like a foot massage, or go get some reflexology or something on your feet.
Is that my grandma saying that, or my grandpa? Either
both
way.
of them. Your grandmother and your grandfather as a couple that come together. All right.
My boyfriend, I'm constantly making him rub my feet. So yes, they're probably like, make him rub it more.
Yeah, well, they're probably having a good laugh as well about it. They are blowing you kisses. They're not saying goodbye, but they are blowing you kisses, and they are telling you that they love you. I'll just see, we're nearly out of time, so I'll just see what other message they've got for you. They're just saying to tell you to be patient with your life and not to have too many expectations. It doesn't mean to have no expectations. It just means don't put yourself against the clock. All right. There is no time frame. It's just work it out at the speed and the level that works for you. Okay. And just do your research. And they're just showing me cooking, like a roast lamb or something. So I don't know if that's a favorite food of yours. But they're showing me roast lamb.
I just made chicken tonight and roasted it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. So they're obviously with you and they're watching over you. All right. So just take care, and I hope their messages today assist you going forward.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Stephanie. Take care. All right. Goodbye, everybody. And it's another week of Understanding Spirit. See you next week. Bye.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Sacred Insights with Andrea Baker. Live from
mindbodynourished.etsy.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Sacred Insight on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sacred Insights. I'm your host, Andrea Bacon, and I hope you're all having a good day or evening whenever you're listening, and I hope you're having a good week so far, because this week was looking pretty good energetically. I was tuning into the energy, seeing about what messages wanted to come through for us today, and it's pretty overall positive. I've been picking up on this collective energy about this high vibrational, love is in the air right now type of vibe. It kind of just raises the energy, and when it also allows things to kind of unfold in a timely manner. So, you know, your goals, your manifestations, things that you're wanting to come in, there's like a support of, if no other reason than just this higher vibration around. Not to say that I know that there's a lot going on in the world, but just, you know, astrologically and everything, there's a lot of support for us. So it's good to be focusing on peace, inner peace, restoration, you know, restoring your energy, as well as making time to connect in with your guides and angels to have that connection and being able to tune into your, you know, your next steps and any messages they want to bring through. But there's this overall strong message about relationships and healing relationships or healing ones from the past, which is kind of talking about forgiveness, but it's also, some of you might be healing with some people or just healing from some things that happened, you know, in the past. Some of you are going to be bringing in new relationships that are going to be leading to more commitment